What's up, Jet fans? Yesterday I did a way too early 53-man roster prediction, and today we have Rich Cimini's first of the year. And say what you will about Rich, of all the beat guys, his 53-man roster predictions year in and year out have been probably the closest. Definitely, he's been done a pretty solid job at that. Obviously, a lot of information to go, camp, preseason, joint practices, all that. But let's take a look at who he has making the team and notable cuts on offense and defense. Starting with offense, Fields, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, don't see the point in carrying a third quarterback that is not really in danger of being poached by another team. You could stick one on the practice squad. If you're down to quarterback number 3, you are pretty much SOL regardless. If one does make it, it would probably be Brady Cook, but Fields and Tyrod, he has sticking. Hall, Allen, Davis, and then he has Beck listed as a fullback. I so far with mine, 6 for 6 with Rich. I agree with all of those. Don't think Diamond Edwards is kept. Beck to me is a near lock to make the team because of his fullback, tight end, and special teams versatility. I think he is an under the radar name that's going to be on the field quite a bit for this team. Wide receiver, he has Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Lazard, Arian Smith, Tyler Johnson, Xavier Gibson. Okay, so I'm no discrepancies between me and Rich so far. My hope is that Corley shows enough to make it, just because you'd want the 23-year-old who's under contract for the next 3 years for no money to make it over at least somebody like Lazard or Tyler Johnson. But they like Tyler Johnson, so he might be their 3 right now. So this is why I agree with this. And Gibson is going to be the punt returner until he's not. And obviously, Arian Smith is a lock as a 4th round pick. So, okay, so far so good. Tight end, Taylor, Ruckert, Smart. Yeah, I mean, I had Beck listed as a tight end technically, but so far I am step for step with you, Mr. Cimini. Taylor and Ruckert are going to make the team. Those are locks because you're going to carry at least 2 tight ends. And if they're going to carry a 3rd or 4th, depending on how you view Beck, Smart seems to be the next guy up with minimal competition there on the back end of the tight end room. Offensive line, he's got Olu Simpson, Pittman and Josh Myers, AVT Membu. Okay. So his backups making it are Myers, Mitchell, Chooks, or Core and Xavier Newman. So the only difference I have with Rich on offense is I had Carter Warren making it as a backup left tackle, just because like Mitchell's played left tackle, but Mitchell, I mean, who's the primary backup left tackle is the question. Do they see Okafor as a swing tackle? Because he's played a whole lot of right tackle in the NFL, and he's played some decent right tackle in his career. His only reps at left tackle came last year in a brief stint with the Patriots, and it was horrendous. So that's why I on my 53-man roster prediction, I had Okafor, you're the backup right, Warren, you're the backup left, Newman, you're the backup guard, and Mitchell, you're kind of just the last resort offensive lineman who can play multiple positions. But this is telling me that I'm guessing Rich has seen Okafor take reps at left tackle. That's what this is telling me. So maybe they do view him as a swing tackle and they can go one light on offensive line. And let's be honest, it's not as though Carter Warren has lit the world on fire. I think the only reason you'd keep Mitchell over him, if it came down to it, is because Mitchell has shown the ability to play guard. Let's go to the defense. Okay, I think I see more differences between me and Rich here, starting with the defensive line. He's got Quinnen, McDonald, Johnson, or locks. Byron Coward, I think, is going to be starting next to Quinnen. Okay, so far so good. Clemens, for better or worse, is going to be here. We know that. Barron is going to be here as a 5th-round rookie. Leonard, Taylor, and Eric Watts back as well. Okay, that makes sense. A couple of UDFAs from last year. Now, where do we differ? Okay, so he has Mathis, Fedora Mathis, and J. Tufele making it over Derek Nottie. And he doesn't have any of the UDFA defensive tackles, either Mulba or Peyton Page making it. So I had Nottie and Peyton Page in, and Tufele and Mathis out, and he has reversed that. So Nottie would be, I mean, hey, look, you got to go with the best guy. So if Jay Tufele and Mathis are better than him, it's not a ton of guaranteed money. So sure. All right. No big squabbles with that. I'd like to try to sneak one of the UDFAs on there over one of Tufele or Mathis, but maybe they feel like they can get those guys in the practice squad. And obviously, this is just an early guess. Linebackers, Sherwood Williams, obviously, Kiko Mawagoa, Yep. Those guys are going to make it. Then he has Jamin Davis, the former first round pick from Washington, who's got some edge flexibility. And the only difference I have here at linebacker is he's kept the fifth. Okay. So he's got McCrary Ball cracking the roster as a linebacker. They are going to play 3 linebackers more. So maybe they want to keep an extra linebacker on the roster. Cornerback, Sauce, Stevens, Carter, AZ Thomas. Then he's got Chris Boyd and Quantez Steger. So Boyd is a corner in name only. So true, he's a special teamer. So truly, the corners would be Sauce, Stevens, Carter, Thomas, and Steger. So really, only keeping 5 corners. Okay, and then safety, Cisco, Adams, Moore. Oh, okay. He has Isaiah Oliver listed as a safety. So Isaiah Oliver could play. You could count him on either one, Oliver and then Jarius Monroe. So my secondary is the same as Rich's as well. Notable cuts being Derek Nottie, Zaire Barnes, and Jarek Bernard Converse. Yeah, the only cuts on either side of the ball, I'd like to find a way for them to keep Corley. Maybe he just isn't good. It is what it is. It happens. But I'd like to find a way to keep Corley if they could, and JBC if they could. Could you keep Jarek Bernard Converse over somebody like Fedor Mathis on your defensive line and go a little lopsided with your numbers, but keep a better or player with more potential, in my opinion? And could you make that same argument on the offensive side? At least JBC has shown, like in camp and in preseason, that he maybe have a role in this league. Corley, it's just he's living off draft pedigree, and that's it so far. But and then obviously McNamara and Hennessy, no competition for those spots. And he has Nick Folk, veteran, led the league in field goal percentage the last 2 years, beating out the thicker kicker. There it is from Rich, and we'll talk all soon.